Hey guys, Banana Luck here and welcome back to another Watcher of Realms video. So today we're back with another Defenders series and we're gonna talk about gear choices, early game, mid game, through end game, and when we talk about end game content that's typically surrounded by Void Rift. Whereas for Gear Rate 2, you don't really need your units to tank well. I think having HP on them is more than enough for anything. So without further ado, let's look into the gear rates and see what options are out there for us. So for the left side, which is your weapon and your chest plate, so that's over here on the left. It's a very obvious choice. You're going to be looking at this few sets. So first one will be the where is it? The Life Force set. So this gives you a 25% boost in HP. The rest are all DPS sets, no surprise, because this game is all about damage, not really about tanking. So Life Force set is good, even all the way through endgame if I'll be honest, because the Immortal Warrior set just gives an extra 10% defense, which could make a whole lot of difference when it comes to Void Rift Nightmare, when you just need your units to tank one more hit from, say, the Phase 2 Crimson Star units. So those get a bit tough, and having that defense could help. But on the left side, this is what you should go for. And ideally, when you look at the bonuses, I'll pull out the best gear that I have. So Brokir has the Immortal Warrior Weapon set, and you can see HP and defense bonus over here as well. I ideally try to aim for Purple Rose, so that's like 20% and above if possible on everything. You can see over here, this one is slightly lower on the 18% side, but that's fine because I do have HP bonus all the way on the other side. So yeah, that's the gear on the left hand side. If not, the Life Force weapon works as well. This is what my gun has, and you can see same thing. Defense bonus and HP bonus. If you really want to be nitpicky, then you'll start to look at flat stats as well. But in my opinion, this is good enough, and unless you're looking at GVG, optimizing things all the way to the maximum, then this is completely fine. And another thing to notice that the left side, which is the weapon and the breastplate, these are the easiest parts to build because you only need two stats to go well in this case. And when it comes to DPS units, it's always attack bonus and crit rate. So for defenders, it's typically defense bonus and HP bonus. So yeah, that's for the left hand side. And onto the right hand side, there are mostly gears coming from Gear Rate 2. I think only one from Gear Rate 3. And just need to check. Okay, so there's this Occult Shield one. This is very early game. When you're that early on in the game, I should have said this earlier, gear sets don't really matter that much. You just want to go for like the main set, so HP bonus, and that's good enough. So we'll look at the more endgame sets, mid to endgame. So for that, most of these sets don't actually work. There's only one set that works because it's the only one with no DPS, and that's the Asclepius stat. Hope I pronounced that rightly. So reason being that this is one of the sets that drops more frequently in Ancient Quality, and there is a max HP effect on it. So that's what I found to be dropping most of the time for me, and I found myself using this set for most of my tanks in the mid game. Because Gear Rate 3 is also mostly where all the DPS sets come once you unlock stage 19. But if you're stuck on Gear Rate 2, then there's a very nice set. It's the Guardian set, which is this one. So damage taken reduced by 15%. But one issue with the Guardian set is that it seldom drops. It's one of the earlier level drops. So once you progress to like stage 18 or 19, it doesn't drop as often, which was why during the Gear Rate 2 Plunder event, lots of people were just farming Gear Rate 2 just to get Guardian sets, which I did, and I only got like one or two great pieces if I'm honest, so that sucked, but it is what it is. So the Guardian set is obviously the top contender when you go towards endgame because There's no other set in the game that reduces the damage that is taken. And then there's also the Glacier set. It's honestly not a great set for, tankers. The reason why I mention it is that it's another one of those very common sets that drops. So if you look at my inventory here, you go on the gear, you're gonna see that I have quite a bit of Glacier uh, pieces actually. Actually not much here, but I think more on the amulet, was it? Okay, so what some of them are equipped on Brokia. And okay. Yeah, I don't have that many ancient sets actually, but what happens is that ancient sets on this typically drop with quite nice stats. As you can see here, it typically pairs with HP bonus and defense bonus, and then rage regen as well as healing effect, which are, all great stuff to have when it comes to having a defender. So that's why I say like Glacier set is an honorable mention, because it just so happens that quite a bit of ancients drop from this. And I'm going to do a filter here onto Glacier sets, because I believe I have way more of this, but somehow they're just not showing. Okay, so yeah, you see defense bonus. Typically it comes with this. HP, this is missing defense bonus for this to be great. And this one, defense bonus wrote too low, but pretty nice flat defense. Then we have this as well, missing HP bonus. And then, yep. Yeah, Glacier sets typically come with very, subsets typically come well on ancient pieces. So that's why I felt it was an honorable mention, but this crit damage ones, they are really awful. So yeah, you see I'm using this on Lazier only for the extra rage regen and attack speed. But yeah, this is another one of those honorable mentions, and as you can see, I haven't farmed Gear 2 all that much to be honest, but I have a couple of nice ancient sets going on here. So yeah, if you are looking at, endgame sets, I would say the Guardian set is obviously the ultimate, the best, because of the buff that it gives. Asclepius, it's nice in the mid game for that max HP increase, and also it drops quite frequently. It's one of the more frequent sets that drops. And then Glacier, when it's ancient drops like what you saw there, I had quite a lot of gold rolls, so those are good ones as well. So yeah, that's like sets wise. On the left, on the right, what do you expect? And I wouldn't mention the Invigoration set, because the Invigoration set actually gives you like 10% attack buff, which tanks don't really need. But now I'm gonna narrow down and focus on a few defenders and showcase the gear that I run on them. So I don't have much defenders that I'm using very actively, to be honest. I'm mostly just swapping their gear around. So Brokia is my staple, and you can see I have him on the Glacier set. I did try him out on a Guardian set, but didn't work that well. Whereas on the other hand, my gun is on the Guardian set, mainly because it's all defense bonus except for this last piece. And you can see here, stats wise, they are not the best, but this has worked pretty well for me in GVG, which is where I'm using gun, so I'm alright with this. And then Torador is on an Invigoration set because I don't use him actively anywhere. I only use him in Guild Boss for his buff, Lord buff. And then the other Fox that I use is Livian, so you see Guardian set, and she works really well in this gear for the is it Watcher? Yep, the Watcher Trials. She works really well. Piercer Trials as well. And then yeah, even though it's an incomplete set, these stats have worked really great on her. And then Oleg as well, I have him on the Guardian set. He has the nicer pieces. You can see HP, defense bonus, defense, HP bonus, and the last one is, yeah, HP bonus set. This one unfortunately didn't roll very good defense, and ideally you should have Oleg in 3 HP bonus to maximize the shield. This has worked just as well for me. So in case you guys are wondering where you should get your sets to, the level of gear that I'm showing right now is good enough for Void Wraith Nightmare. So that just tells you enough as to where you need to farm, how much you need to farm to get there. I think these sets have worked really well for me. So yeah, take this as a reference point if you will, as to how much you need to farm before you can tell yourself for sure that you're going to be able to clear through all the content in the game. So yeah, and that's pretty much going to be it for the video in terms of gear. So once again, to recap, on the left side, it's either the Immortal Warrior sets or the Life Force weapon sets. And then in the very end game, ideal to have a Guardian set. But if you're in the mid game, farming towards the end game, Glacier sets tend to work well because their ancient counterparts do provide very good stats that tanks need. And also the Asclepius sets this drop quite frequently, so I had this on my regulars when he was the only tank that I had at the very beginning. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video, guys. I'll probably do another video on maybe Gun, which I'm still trying to test around to showcase his tankiness, and I don't have the best tank defender artifacts, so I'm not gonna do a video on that. But that's probably gonna be it for the video. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and comment down if you have any questions about how you should gear up your tanks. And that's gonna be it for the video, and see you in the next one. Goodbye.